6-4, the Cubs lead as they will bat here in the 9th inning. Pedro Strop kind of struggled through that 8th, but kept the Cubs in front. Zach Duke now pitching.
So Ian Gorzolani is similar stories in that they both started their careers as starting pitchers for the Pirates, and now they find themselves working out of the Brewer bullpen. And Zach Duke has been effective this year for Milwaukee, working for the 73rd time. He's got a record of 5-1, an ERA of 2.54. League hitting .229 against him. Lefties just .202. Brewers have not gone down in order. Well, they haven't once, the 7th inning. And Eric Jokic did not pitch enough innings to qualify for the win, so well, I might be tempted to give it to Neal since he went 1, 2, 3. Dan Straley worked a scoreless inning. Don will have the 9th.
It's 2-0 to Coghlan. Nelson, Estrada, Gorzolani, Kinsler, Duke. Two and one. Baez with 3 hits is on deck. 2 hopper to the shortstop. Segura makes the play. So Coghlan retired for the 2nd time tonight. He has scored 3 times. Baez 2 singles, 3 singles, a stolen base, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Second time in his young career he has had 3 hits in a ball game.
Last one deep back on September 13th in Pittsburgh.
Two to Baez. Got pitching matchups. You ready? Tomorrow night?
Yes.
Tsuyoshi Wada 4-3 with a 3.22 against Willie Peralta 16-11 with a 3.62. And then on Sunday Jacob Turner will fill in for Kyle Hendricks against Mike Fiers, who had what, 14 strikeouts against the Cubs?
Yeah, in 6 innings, I believe. He was on a Kerry Woodian pace.
6 innings, 14 strikeouts on August 14th at Wrigley. We got him. Strike 3 called to get Baez, 2 outs.
Drop down slinger to the inside corner, barely, to get Baez.
2-0 the count. How many times have I said that tonight?
Yeah.
I should trademark it. Three-peat. Am I allowed to say that? Bouncer foul. 2-1. So who do you have winning it? Ramirez? You giving it to Neil?
No, I'm not giving it to anybody.
Somebody's got to get it. Ramirez 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
I suspect they'll give it to Straley. A lot of times
he was the second pitcher,
the first guy to come in and pitch effectively after the. But yeah, I would.
Rizzo walks.
I mean, I'd be tempted to give it to the guy who had the only 1, 2, 3 inning of the night. But I think it would be fair to give it to Straley.
Tell Straley Dan, everything you did deserves a win. Yeah.
If he doesn't get it, we can call him Deacon Blues.
Only a fool would say that. He could be king of the world. I don't know half these songs. I'm just looking at Steely Dan song names. But somebody out there's laughing or throwing stuff at their TV. Or they might throw back the little ones. Tapped foul by Soler.
That sounds like a fishing song. Was it Al Davis that coined win, just win baby, or
baby.
Winning ugly, or the Cubs story tonight? Although Brewers have been just as ugly in their inability to drive in runs. They've had so many opportunities. Cubs through 8 innings have thrown 160 pitches in this ball game.
Bounce to Weeks. He'll take it to the bag and get Rizzo. We go to the last of the night. Cubs lead 6-4.
It's here. Ford's Great American Tailgate Event. Featuring America's best-selling brand. Introducing Ford Edge, Explorer, Escape, and the 2015 Ford Expedition. All powered by EcoBoost technology. Hurry in to Ford's Great American Tailgate Event. Now save on most Ford SUVs and crossovers with 0% financing for 72 months and pay no interest for 6 years.
This is a different kind of airline. One that invented low fares so everyone could fly. One that decides where to go next by putting your needs first. And knows people are its most powerful fuel. Some say we do things differently. We say, why would we do things any other way? Without a heart, it's just a machine.
Looking to really reel in a great deal on a new Ford? Get to Schaumburg Ford, where everyone catches big deals. Really?
Right now at Bob Worman Schaumburg Ford, get 0% APR for 72 months on select brand new 2014 Fords.
Bob Rohrman.
Be sure to see us before you buy. Bob Rohrman Schaumburg Ford, just west of the Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road, Schaumburg.
GMC player of the game, we're going to give it to Javier Baez.
Second 3-hit night as a big leaguer. Solid single to get things started, and then a little broken bat flare to drive in one. And then a base hit. That scores Logan Watkins. Come off the bench with a solid pinch hit single.
Fortunately, struck out in that final at bat in a pitch he didn't like. So he has fanned in 20 in a row. It's games, but all in all, very encouraging day at the plate. Here's Hector Rondon.
Hector could make quick work of the Brewers here in the bottom of the ninth. 27 saves and 31 tries, a 2.49 ERA for hard-throwing Hector. Strop an inning, 2 hits, a run. No walks, couple of strikeouts.
Happy birthday to Chris Jorgensen, Grace's dad. Hoping for a Cubs win here tonight. And they're 3 outs away. Lucroy. Fastball missing inside. Rondon, the 4th Cub to get to 27 saves in his age 26 season or younger. Smith, Suter, Williams. It's Mitch Williams, Lee Smith, Hall of Famer Bruce Suter, the others. ERA under 1 since July 11th. Thing you love, he's only walked 2 guys over that time. 28 innings. Right down the middle.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama-free outings. Made a little adjustment with his slider a few weeks ago. Added velocity to that pitch. We see it at 87 earlier this year. That was probably 82, 83 miles an hour.
Parra on deck after coming into play left in the 8th for Chris Davis. Pulled that one. It's 2-2. 99 miles an hour. Seems bound and determined to hit 100 before the season ends. Here it comes. 98. And Lucroy very tardy. 1 away.
See a little hitch. And by the time he's ready to turn it loose, the fastball's by him.
His first plate appearance. Rizzo knocks it down. He's got time. Rondon over to cover.
The win tonight, the Cubs will go to 10-7 against the Brewers this year. It will be their first winning season against Milwaukee since 2010. It's their 9th win in their last 35 tries in this ballpark. We could be seconds away from that. very factoid being true.
1-1. One away from Virginia. Oh,
Virginia.
She loves us. You see that real small typefaces? I love Glenn and JD. I heart.
Virginia, Illinois, or Virginia?
Good question. Our buddies with the wigs and fake mustaches and other garb are still here.
Should have had a camera on those guys all night.
Line shot, deep center, caught by Caesar. Cubs win 6-4 the final. The Angel Guzman fan is excited. So the Cubs still have an outside shot to finish in a fourth-place tie, but as you mentioned, they win the season series against a Brewers club that's limping to the finish line.
Yeah, boy, not a pretty game. Sloppy. The Cubs made a couple errors. The pitching was not really precise. There were a lot of walks. But at the end of the day, a nice win for the Cubs. They beat the Brewers 6-4 here tonight. Good night for Baez. Coughlin continues to swing it well. Those guys are happy. I'm going to go get some brats.
And this is our final CSN broadcast of 2014. Thanks for watching all season long. Thanks to our great crew. Your final score here in Milwaukee, the Cubs 6, the Brewers 4. Hey, we'll see you next season on CSN, but we're not done yet tonight. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Cubs post-game live from our downtown Chicago studios is next.
What happens to your internet when everybody's online at once?
It's very frustrating.
Run into bandwidth issues.
Xfinity delivers the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. I bet we can have all three of these guys on their devices and download our favorite HD show. You're going to be impressed.
Ever seen something download that fast?
Everyone can be on their devices all at the same time.
So, flipping fast.
Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi with Xfinity Internet. You can't get that with UVerse. Or get started for $19.99 a month for a year. See for yourself. Call 855-215-FAST today.
This Ford Explorer was built at that facility by these folks right here in Illinois. Our economic initiative allowed Ford to hire 2,500 more workers, and that supports other Illinois businesses, creating even more jobs. Unemployment is now at its lowest level since before the Great Recession. I'm Pat Quinn. We've got a ways to go, but we're making the tough decisions to get us rolling again. Everybody in? I'm driving.
What are you doing? Pull up! We're too low!
I know, but isn't Wisconsin beautiful in the fall? Hiking in the cool, crisp air, so many pretty fall colors.
We're too low, Roger! The trees!
You can call me Kareem if you want.
Kareem? We're too low, Kareem!
Did you know I won my first NBA championship here?
You're out of your mind!
I know. Why did I ever leave this place?
You were young. Know that chasing performance can mean lower returns and fewer choices in retirement.
Know that proper allocation could help increase returns so you can enjoy that second home sooner.
Know the right financial plan can help you save for college and retirement.
Hi. Know where you stand with PNC Total Insight, a new investing and banking experience with personalized guidance and online tools. Visit a branch, call, or go online today.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. AT&T, mobilizing your world. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Audi, truth in engineering.
This is Cub
Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Good night for the boys in blue. They knock off the reeling Milwaukee Brewers. 6-4. Brew Crew scuffling to the finish. Cubs battling, and today get 3 hits out of Javi Baez to win 6-4. Hello, welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Along with Todd Hollingsworth, I'm David Kaplan. Good to see Javi with 3 more hits tonight. Cubs got solid pitching and found a way to win a ball game.
Well, yeah, you got to that bullpen. Yeah, you look at the Brew Crew. This wasn't the best of games. A little sloppy, but this is kind of what happens in those games that don't mean a whole lot to either side. Good to see Javi Baez have a great game. Chris Coghlan continues to swing the bat. Started this thing off right with a homer. And the pitching was good. Not great, but certainly from both sides. A lot of traffic out there, a lot of walks, some errors mixed in, but nice to get the win.
All right, Chris Coghlan got things started leading off the ball game, and he puts a charge into one. This guy has just had a whale of a season. Came in with no expectation of even making the ball club in Mesa, and all of a sudden he has become a vital player.
Well, you know, the one thing that really has impressed me with Chris here in the second half is that he hasn't backed off. I mean, again, if we want to talk about what he's become in the Cubs uniform, how he has probably saved his career to some extent, I think Chris would even tell you that a little bit because there was a lot of doubt out there. Yeah, he has really come in and he hasn't backed off. He's gone through some of those down cycles and ultimately finishing strong once again with the home run.
And then he comes up with a double here in the third. I mean, a guy who really has taken to the leadoff role, number 1. Number 2, as you said, saved his career. He came into Mesa, and I remember interviewing him, and he goes, I'm just hoping I get a shot.
Right, well, that's just it. I mean, he'd burned up a lot of bridges. Again, you remember, he's the National League Rookie of the Year just a few years ago with the Marlins, and he got to a position where, you know, things just weren't going his way, and now, yeah, he's a little bit on borrowed time. If you want to stay at the big league level, you have to produce. Chris Coghlan has done that this season. He has not slowed down. He's playing every game like it might be his last, and that's what you want from your ball club.
We see the Cubs shattering a bunch of bats, but that was Soler driving in Baez. Baez shattered a bat as well. But good to see these guys coming through.
Well, you're putting the ball in play. I can tell you how many times I've sat up here and we've done many a post game, and we talked about how many times the Cubs would leave that runner on second base and just we would all get frustrated. And it's good to see. Sometimes just a little bit of contact gets those runs in. You saw how this game played out. The Brewers pushed a little bit and the Cubs pushed back. That's the one thing that really has stood out to me here in the second half with the Cubs offense. They've been so much better at responding. Many times we would watch over the last couple of years this team put up 3 spot in the 5th inning, but that would be it. There would be those innings where you get a runner on second base, nobody out, and that man would still be stranded there. Yes, it's not pretty. It's ugly to see the bat blow up sometimes, but we got to run. With a runner on second base, we basically hit a ball a combined 110 feet on the infield and scored a run.
All right, let's check out our Sports Authority play of the game. After the Brewers cut the lead to 2, Jorge Soler adds some insurance in the top of the 7th inning. A little bloop single to right, driving in his 2nd run of the ball game. Boy, these guys swing hard.
Right. Well, you know, here's the thing. But if you watch his body language right there, and Jorge didn't have the best of nights swinging the bat, pulled off a few balls. Maybe it was overswing a little bit, at times a little bit behind the fastball. That happens. Sometimes you just don't pick up the ball all that well, and you know, you kind of go through those nights. But the one thing I love about this young man is that when it comes down to it, and he is not himself, and you know, you feel this some nights. You get in there in the first at bat, guys getting the ball by you. He defaults to the opposite way, which means he's going to stay on the ball. He's going to muscle a ball out there. This is what Vladimir Guerrero did so well for so many years, watching him. He would take that. His bad nights, you know what? He'd just dump a couple in right field, and you realize, yeah, it's not pretty to watch, but you're getting the result. Big, huge RBI right there, big base hit.
All right, let's take a look at the pitching recap. Eric Jokic, the Northwestern product, got his start tonight for the Cubs. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run it was earned, walked 4 and struck out 2 against Jimmy Nelson. While Jokic wasn't great, he certainly battled.
Yeah, he navigated. That's what he did. Put some runners out there. But again, this is one of the big things the Brewers have had trouble with all season long. So dependent on the long ball to score their runs. Again, made pitches. I'm going to give him credit. Was getting in on those right-handed hitters. Broke a couple bats himself. Big pickoff right here. You know, the Brew Crew, they're struggling. They played some sloppy ball tonight. He made pitches when he needed to. Those 4 walks certainly stand out. That's not going to survive moving forward. But again, a pretty decent, solid 4 innings. 86 pitches there. I think there's something there that you say we can take some positives from tonight.
All right, time for a break here on Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Coming up, we'll go around the pennant race to see who's hot and who's not so hot going into the postseason. Plus, Theo Epstein gives Ricky Renteria a vote of confidence. We'll discuss his job after this brief timeout. Be right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Why must we wear these blindfolds, Master?
Fulfilling one's hunger at Steak and Shake requires heightened senses. The scent of handcrafted steak burgers, quick seared on the grill, singing in harmony with delicious hand-dipped milkshakes. Found it!
Come in for a handcrafted steak burger and milkshake at Steak and Shake.
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This season, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting.
I just moved out here from Philly, but I couldn't get all my Eagles games, so I got NFL Sunday Ticket. You can watch your favorite team no matter where you live. Now, I get my Eagles, but I still have to go back home to get my cheesesteak.
Become the world's most powerful fan. Get NFL Sunday Ticket with every game, every Sunday.
There's no clock on this job. Just the timeless hands of intuition and effort, ticking from within. An endless cadence of committed work, from the passing of Mother Nature's final frost to the hanging dew at harvest. Around here, wheels are always turning, and watches need no winding, because success never rests.
Time for our Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Who's hot, who's not for playoff contenders in the last week. Who's hot? How about Kutch? 500 with 2 bombs, 6 knocked in. Stevie Pierce, 409 batting average, 4 bombs, and 9 knocked in. And Yasiel Puig, 345, 2 bombs, 6 RBIs. Who is icy cold? J.J. Hardy. Better get it in gear, kid. 111. Nary an RBI or a home run. Awful. Adam Dunn, 200, no home runs. They didn't bring you over there for your good looks. And Mike Moustakas, 120, no homers, no RBIs for the Royals, who are making their first postseason appearance in 29 years. Time now for the Subway winning score. Oh, you make me laugh. Let's take a look at it. The Cubs, this one belongs to the Cubs tonight. Chris Coghlan, 2 for 4, a home run, his 9th 3-hit night for Javier Baez. Not a ton of productivity the rest of the lineup, but top of the lineup, 5 for 9.
Well, that's where it was all at, right? Chris Coghlan getting the ball game started off just right, getting us that early lead with the home run, his 9th on the season. Javi Baez, maybe his best game. I'll tell you what, I love the package tonight. Yeah, he had a strikeout, I get it, but you know what? All in all, even the one where he broke his bat, he stayed inside the baseball and picked up an RBI. So Anthony Rizzo, big base hit, continues to take those walks. Good things happening there at the top of the lineup tonight.
All right, before the game, President Theo Epstein confirmed that Ricky Renteria will be back next year as Cubs manager. Renteria showed a little fire tonight, getting ejected after arguing a balk call in the 8th inning. Early impressions of how he did in his first year on the job. For me, he fixed Castro and Rizzo or got him back playing to the form they were at 2 years ago. Enough said.
I think he did a fantastic job, and here's why. I've watched a few other managers who have been in charge of this team go through some of the issues that this team has gone through very similarly in previous years, and the team stopped responding. Real simple for me. That sound, it's so important that the manager never lose his voice. And sometimes it's his fault, sometimes it's not his fault, sometimes it's circumstance. But the important thing is here that this club went through, you know, a little thing there with Zamarja and Hamill and the good start and the new manager and responding and playing well and then changing your clubhouse again. And your team started to respond again. That's the good thing. So the challenge next year really is going to be maintaining that voice. Again, that's something I believe is going to happen. I mean, there's a lot of examples out there. Brian Price was a new manager up in Cincinnati. Things got a little crazy up there this year. And, you know, you just wonder how some of those things start to fall apart. But I did not see that at all this year from these guys. They continue to fight. They fought tonight. They went out and got a win in a meaningless game. They took it to the Cardinals late as well. Played against so many of these contenders. Played them hard, played them well. And, you know, 41-40 at home is something to be proud about.
All right, time for another timeout. Coming up, another big game for Javi. But what does he need to work on in the offseason? To tackle that topic with the 96 National League Rookie of the Year when we return. Cubs Postgame Live presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Stick around. Be right back.
As I drove across on the highway, my Jeep began to rock.
Jeep Wrangler, the best 4x4 vehicle of the decade. Jeep Cherokee with up to 31 highway MPG. And Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Experience the best-selling SUV brand at the Jeep Celebration event. Get $500 Celebration event bonus cash for a total cash allowance of $2,000 on select Jeep Cherokee models.
Join Menards in saluting our American-made products with Menards Made in the USA sale. Polar Plastics multi-purpose plastic is great for covering insulation or for use as a drop cloth. Made in Oakdale, Minnesota. Get a 10-foot by 25-foot roll for $1.99 after rebate. Brighten up your home with Sylvania light bulbs. They've been proudly made in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania for over 50 years. 3 packs of 65-watt double life indoor flood bulbs are just $4.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Honey, what are you doing? I thought you were getting your hair cut at Great Clips.
I am. Already checked in.
How?
Their sweet online check-in app. Why wait around there for a haircut when I can work on my body here? I got a few more minutes. And pump it and squeeze it. Ooh, smile at me.
Introducing the online check-in app from Great Clips. No more waiting around, because now we'll be waiting for you. Great Clips, it's gonna be great.
Where does time go? Did it just stop, along with all the clocks? What makes it stand still? And then fly past? Is it this life on the road? Or it's death? Maybe it's the decisions we make that control it.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Whew. Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
Time now for your UPS store taking care of business player of the game. We give it to Javi Baez, number 9 with a 3-hit night. What does he have to do to continue to put up productive at-bats like this?
Well, I mean, we've seen some adjustments. I think he just really needs to hone in on what he's learned here in the 2 months that he's been up at the big league level and how this thing really works up here. I mean, if he's going to continue to show holes in his swing, pitching is going to continue to exploit those holes in his swing. So, really what I'm kind of getting down to once again is, the staying through the baseball. Listen, there's a time to wail and bail when you get ahead in the count, when you're seeing the ball as well as you've ever seen it and you're hot. And you know how that is. I mean, hitters know how that goes, and I've been there a few times, and, it doesn't matter who's out there, you're going to get results. But when you're not, he's got to learn how to survive when the struggles are coming, and they happen an awful lot. As a matter of fact, that's a lot of the year is when you're not just right on your game all the time, and he's got to find a way to just have more productive at-bats. And I think we've seen some glimpses of that here in the second half. Just more. You got to see more of it. It's got to be a little bit more sustained. I'd also think, at least in my personal opinion, a move out of the 2-hole is going to serve him well. Love to see him a little bit more down in the lineup. If you put him in the 6-hole, I think he's got the ability to swing a little more freely. There's not as much pressure on executing situationally like you have to in the 2 spot. So, again, that's my personal opinion. I think there's room there to grow. I think he is going to grow, but, I mean, you look at that swing right there, Cap, and what I see is somebody who's not tracking the ball all the way to the glove.
No, as you said, he pulls off a lot. And Theo talked today. He just said he gets himself out by not being selective, and pitchers can then get him out with their pitch, not his.
Well, what I see is when he pulls off the ball is that he surrenders the outside third of the plate. I mean, it's just a huge hole, and what they do is continue to attack it, and then if you don't have enough plate discipline, then you've just widened this thing even more. So, you know, he's making the challenges very hard. I mean, I'd love to see him maybe be a little bit more reckless in the strike zone, which is okay, as long as it's around the plate. But what's ultimately ending up happening, when you pull your head off the ball, you have no idea. You can hit to an area, but not to a spot, and that's the problem that he kind of has sometimes when he starts to pull off the baseball. So, I mean, these are things. This is just tightening up. I mean, really all it is approach. And right now, I see the athleticism, the ability, the separation, good defender. This guy's going to play at the big league level for a long time.
Well, let's take a look at the Blue Cross Blue Shield, key to the Cubs' victory tonight. Holly?
All right, well, avoid the slide. Talking about Bernie the Brewer. Keep the ball in the yard. That's really what I was talking about. Listen, the Brew Crew this season, well, certainly here in the second half, I mean, they've been so dependent on the long ball. You're watching the one that they got tonight, that's Segura right there, but that's it. You know, the way this game kind of played itself out, the Brewers had an awful lot of traffic out of there, and we watched many times runners left in scoring position. They've struggled that way. If you can avoid that, you're fine. So really, you just got to keep the ball in the yard, and that's what it comes down to. Unfortunately for the Brewers, they didn't avoid the slide in the second half. They're with the Cubbies on the outside looking in.
All right, let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's Game 2 of this season-ending series. Tsuyoshi Wada, Willie Peralta looking for his 17th win of the season. Had a real good year.
Yeah, he is. He's having an outstanding season. So is Wada. Wada's pitched very, very well. So we'll see how these two last two ball games play themselves out. You're going to see a lot of the younger players, I think, here on Saturday and Sunday, and see what they do with those opportunities.
All right, thank you for watching Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Playbook with Kip Lewis. Jim Miller is next. For Holly, for our great crew here, it's been a lot of fun being with you all season long. God bless. Have a great winter. We will see you in 2015.
See ya.
Choosing from the $4 menu is not for the indecisive. Incredible values await. Behold the original double steak burger meal, the taco salad and chili cheese footlong meals, the garlic double steak burger meal.
What's that sound, Master?
Kung Fu elbow. Try it.
The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
What happens to your internet when everybody's online at once?
It's very frustrating.
Run into bandwidth issues.
Xfinity delivers the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. I bet we can have all three of these guys on their devices and download our favorite HD show. You're going to be impressed.
Never seen something download that fast.
Everyone can be on their devices all at the same time.
So, flipping fast.
Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi with Xfinity Internet. You can't get that with UVerse. Or get started for $19.99 a month for a year. See for yourself. Call 855-215-FAST today.
Imagine the luxury of not being here. The power you want with the fuel economy you dream of. Performance with a conscience. This is Volvo, innovating for you.
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This spring, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Sports Authority is proud to be the official sporting goods retailer of the Chicago Cubs. Sports Authority, all things sporting good. This is Sportsnet Central Playbook with Jim Miller.
Welcome to Sportsnet Central Playbook with Jim Miller. I'm Kip Lewis. Jay Cutler has thrown 8 TD passes in the Bears' first 3 games this season, which breaks the old franchise record of 7 in the team's first 3 games set by Sid Luckman in 1946. And Jim, will we see Cutler have his best touchdown to interception ratio of his career this year?
Well, even if he keeps up the pace right now, when you look at Jay Cutler, you're happy if you're 2 touchdowns to 1 interception, 2-1. Right now, Jay Cutler is 4-1. You mentioned the 8 touchdowns, only 2 picks. I think Bears fans will take it. He's ahead of the curve right now.
Defense was a big concern entering this season, but so far the unit has been up to the challenges they faced. In fact, they've been taking the ball away with great frequency, including 2 more big interceptions against the Jets.
I seen it was a screenplay, so I kind of, started making my way towards the running back.
And from the 46, trying to get the screen to the right, it's intercepted, and all the way is Ryan Mundy. Monday Night Football. Touchdown, Chicago.
Surprisingly, he threw it right to me. So, like I said, you got to catch it and then, score.
That's a bad play by Geno Smith. Down 11, Smith looking deep. Good job back there. Now he moves and he throws, and it's intercepted by Fuller.
Playing my technique fundamentals 3D, staying on my leverage and having my eyes on the quarterback and able to go up and make a play.
It's the inconsistencies of Geno Smith that create doubt in this franchise.
Not only was it the defense that was a concern, but a lot of it had to do with the secondary play. Peanut Tillman goes down, Kyle Fuller steps in, and a lot of people are talking about the safeties. Do you like what you've seen from this secondary? Because they are getting the turnovers for this defense right now.
Yeah, you have to love what the Bears are doing in the secondary. Granted, a lot of players have rolled in at the safety position, but the Bears' strength is the corner spot. Granted, Peanut Tillman's down, but already making a great case for Rookie of the Year would be Kyle Fuller, the Bears' first-round draft pick.
Let's take a look at the Mundy interception. You want to talk about, hey, he did a great job, but sometimes it's on the quarterback, because I think if you and I were playing out there, we probably could have made this interception.
Well, this is interesting. There's a lot going on this play. We're going to play it out, but it's a half-right formation, shotgun, Z half-fly. You fake the run there out of the shotgun. You're faking the wide receiver screen to the left, coming back. So it's double screen right, fake wide receiver screen left, screen right to the running back. Watch Ryan Mundy, a lot of single safety by the Bears. You see him falling off. This is actually just a cover 3. He becomes the curl flat defender on the weak side. Mundy is the curl flat defender on the strong side as the Bears roll the 3 deep. Easy read for Mundy. He said, hey, I knew they were setting up the screen. It is. It's just a bad play that John Gruden diagnosed about Geno Smith, but he was accurate with the ball. He hit Ryan Mundy right between the numbers.
Right, and one of the things on this play that really hurt him, number one, it's just a bad throw by Geno. It's either you got to put it right on your back or you just don't throw this ball, because there's no accuracy in here. The guard doesn't get out to get Mundy. That's one of the problems they had on the play. And Mundy just takes it to the house.
There's no doubt. This is pretty interesting. Think about this motion right here. Remember I said half right, Z half fly? This is how you know it's a zone coverage. Watch him kick inside. He stays outside. If he would have went and followed this receiver, you know it's man-to-man. Nope, they kick it in. You know it's zone cover 3. Geno Smith should have been telling himself that. Right. And just a bad decision. He needs to throw that one in the dirt. But thankfully, Ryan Mundy had a great read on the play.
Another guy, Kyle Fuller, the people are talking about him. Hey, we heard Brandon Marshall say this guy is going to be a Hall of Famer. He needs to think that way. But it's interesting because we're only a few games into the season, and you hear a lot of guys talking about Kyle Fuller like they don't talk about a lot of rookies.
He has no fear. I mean, this started the first day of training camp. Remember 2 picks first day of training camp? He fears nobody, getting in fights with Martellus Bennett. I mean, this guy competes every single time he lines up. Straight cover 3 again by the Chicago Bears here. You see, obviously, the free safety, corner.
Let's explain it. That means he's got a zone here. He's got this zone. So those are that's cover 3. They have 3 zones.
They each have a third of the field. He'd be the curl flat defender on the weak side. You've got a split right gun by the New York Jets, and it's just a bad play. You got curl to this side. They're calling X bench to the backside, or X corner. We used to call it bench. Geno Smith, look at him rolling to his left. You can't get any power on this type of throw here. One, it's a bad decision. Just throw it away. But no power, throwing off 1 foot. Kyle Fuller, because David Nelson, the receiver of the Jets, he doesn't want to compete against Kyle Fuller. The only thing you'd say, hey, Kyle, if you can't get it out to the 30, maybe just take a knee in the end zone so the Bears get better field position.
And when you talk about DBs, a lot of people talk about their hips. Can they open their hips? Can they run? Watch Kyle Fuller's feet. He doesn't ever get his feet out of position. He doesn't take any elongated steps. He's got great balance. He's there. I mean, he's got this guy covered like a glove. He was perfect.
Well, he was walling off the quarter route perfect. He knew what route was coming. And then after that, it becomes scramble rule drills where you just have to react as a DB. You see him cut in front of David Nelson and out-competed David Nelson. So you give a lot of credit, obviously, to Kyle Fuller and what he's bringing to the Bears.
And the one thing that's nice, you see him here, he doesn't panic. Sometimes DBs, they get a little worried that they know they're in the end zone. He looks very comfortable and very confident when he's back there, regardless of where he is on the field.
No, he's just reacting and playing ball right here, as I mentioned, on a scramble rule drill. But like I said, still, he needs to make a better decision in terms of field position. Well, he's talking about hitting yardage.
Yeah.
So take a knee, ball goes out to the 20-yard line, and that would have been a much better situation for the Chicago Bears. He's young, but you got to love him the way he competes every single play.
Well, Martellus Bennett said he felt disrespected by Jets coach Rex Ryan because Ryan didn't mention the Bears tight end by name when talking about the team's offensive weapons. Bennett responded with his play Monday night by hauling in 2 touchdown passes.
Today I felt a little disrespected.
Butler looking at his 2 big receivers.
We played a highlight video, and in highlight video, Rex was talking about, you know, we got monsters on the outside with Alshon and Brandon, but then he was like, oh yeah, the tight end's a big dude.
Fires to the back, caught for the touchdown by Martellus Bennett.
I feel like when someone talks about me, they should use enthusiasm.
Unbelievable.
It was a great play by Jay, and I was just in the right place at the right time.
5, end zone touchdown, Bennett. Martellus for the 2nd time tonight. Phillip Adams beaten badly. That was easy.
We talk about Jay Cutler and his touchdown to interception ratio. Well, he's got a couple guys in his receiving core that are at the top in touchdown receptions already this year. And you kind of get the feeling going into the 2nd year of the offense that these guys are going to have even maybe better numbers than they had in the previous season.
There's no doubt. Year 2 of an offense, and I've equated this to what the Denver Broncos did a year ago. Think of year 1 under Peyton Manning, and then year 2. Year 2 was a prolific offense. They had 55 touchdown passes out there in Denver a year ago, scored a record over 600 points. Can the Bears do the same? They're well underway.
Let's take a look at Martellus's first touchdown here. A lot of good things going on here. Number 1, it ended up being a great throw by Jay Cutler.
Split right gun slot, 62 switch, double post, wide corner is what this is supposed to be on this particular play if I can get Bennett to show up there on the wide corner. But watch how this works out for the Bears. Jay Cutler, because of the man-free look, they do blitz, but it's a man-free coverage by the New York Jets. This is just a great read right here. Jay was looking for the double post, and then the breakdown in coverage by the Jets. Look how small this window is. He wants to go to the corner. It's not there, so now it's just backyard football. Find an open spot. Walls off the corner. Look at this window. Whoa, beautiful by our producer right there. Nice window.
You see prior there, he was already cheating to that side. He almost kind of fell asleep on that play because he could have been moving in that direction. It's like both the guys were a little slow there to react.
This is how you take advantage of secondaries. You're going to see on the second touchdown of Martellus Bennett, the safeties it's blown assignments by the New York Jets. We always talk about no known coverages, what the Jets run. Well, they don't know them themselves because they don't cover the right guys on every single play.
And that's one of the things that happens. You hear when you get defensive coordinators that like to be very exotic, do a lot of different things. They make these types of mistakes because you've got so much going on in your your defense. This is a blown coverage.
This is simple. Let's go back to the play call again. This one's just a little bit different. Similar concept for the Bears. We're going to go half left, Y out, because this is Martellus Bennett. They're going to switch, run the switch, double post, same route, and then they got the drag route here by Brandon Marshall. Watch the safeties. They blitz again. It's supposed to be a man coverage, a man free. I think Kelvin Pryor screws up. I think he's supposed to be in the middle of the field in a free safety.
We talked about this. This is a difference. We talked about this coverage earlier. If it's locked man, it's going to be like this. And to me, if I'm a receiver, this is how I read the coverage. That means that's how they're going to play. They don't do that. If it's in and out, means this guy would take the first inside route. He would take the first outside route. So when I look at the top there, the guys at the top are playing it right to me, because the inside DB takes that first inside route. Where they mess it up is at the bottom. And we also think maybe the safety, you think the safety also makes it.
I think these two guys screw up assignments. I think Calvin Pryor, their rookie, is supposed to be man-free. Fine, he should take Marshall. Both of them bite Marshall, and that's where they blow the coverage. Double post, bam. There's Martellus Bennett for the touchdown. Jay Cutler finds the open guy.
And remember that look, because we're going to see something similar later in the show, and the Jets actually do play a locked man.
There's Adams. He's out of position. He's supposed to take Bennett, like you said, whether in, out, switch. The defensive backs totally blow that assignment for the Jets.
But it is one of those things, I think, when you do have so many different looks in your defense. You're trying to be so creative. Some guys, you have to be sound first before you do anything else.
Well, they're trying to mask a lot of things when you look at Rex Ryan. Their #1 draft pick from a year ago, D. Milner, he can't even line up and play in the game. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain. So Rex Ryan is trying to really fudge it a little bit. And so maximize their pass rush, hopefully try and disguise a lot of things in the secondary. And unfortunately for him, it worked to their detriment.
Well, time for us to take our first time out on the show. The Bears offense is having some success, but could it be much better if they can generate a running attack that has so far been non-existent? We'll look at the rushing issues. And how did the Jets get so much pressure on Jay Cutler Monday night? We'll break it down next on Sportsnet Central Playbook with Jim Miller.
It's a new NFL football season, and the highlights start here with the game-changing GMC Sierra, featuring the most fuel-efficient gas V8 pickup engine ever. Get into the game at GMC's kickoff event. Kick off the season right and use your special value pricing to get over $8,300 total value on this specially equipped Sierra. Plus, get 1 year of SiriusXM, including every NFL game. Only from GMC, the official vehicle of the NFL.
At T-Mobile, get 4 lines for just $100 with unlimited talk, text, and now up to 10 gigabytes of 4G LTE data. Want phones with that? Grab the hottest new phones and get the best trade-in value on your current phone, guaranteed. Let's see the other guys beat that. Get 4 lines for $100 and the best trade-in value, guaranteed.
White Sox fans, SoxFest is back January 23rd through the 25th and better than ever. All new pricing, new location, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss your chance to spend the weekend with all your favorite current and past players and coaches. Enjoy interactive activities for the entire family and celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the 2005 World Series championship team by getting autographs and up-close photos. SoxFest tickets are on sale now. Go to whitesox.com/SoxFest today.
Coldy's lozenges are clinically proven to shorten your cold. Our new Quick Melts also promote immune health from rose hips, echinacea, and natural energy. Coldy's zinc ions released in your mouth inhibit the cold virus from replicating, while natural ingredients promote immune health, antioxidant support, and energy. I'm Ted Karkas, CEO of Coldy's. I guarantee Coldy's will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
Live a full life. The Lexus CT Hybrid with an EPA estimated 42 mpg. The further you go, the more interesting it gets. Lease the 2014 CT 200 days for $299 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
There's been pressure. and it's almost intercepted.
Number 91, right side of your screen. He sees the ball released. He times his jump perfectly.
Great block. It's 3 and 2. Needs to get across midfield. Cutler puts it up for Jeffrey.
I knew Rex Ryan was going to bring the house. These defensive backs have no help. Again, they use a switch release, and Jeffrey uses that wingspan to beat Antonio Allen. Great call by Mark Cressman. I love the design.
Jay Cutler threw 2 touchdown passes in the win against the Jets, but he was sacked 4 times and pressured on several other dropbacks. In some ways, it was expected with the Jets showing multiple exotic looks on defense. And, Jim, I think we knew we were going to see some pressure on Jay in this game because that's kind of what the Jets do to everybody.
Yeah, they bring the outside backer here in their 3-4 defense. Watch the pressure rush where these 2 defensive tackles slough off on this particular play. Why? Because they've studied the tape. They know Jay Cutler automatically is going to Martellus Bennett, I believe, on a little crossing route. See him slough off? Now it creates a tight lane for Jay to throw the football. So they're only bringing 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. This is really picked up by the Bears. It's really not that exotic in terms of the rushers that are brought, but they know they're basically causing the Bears to decide to just watch Matt Forte have to come across the formation to pick up the outside backer blitzing on the play. And it's just a great scheme by Rex Ryan. So got to be careful with the football. Certainly that Jay got away with one there. When you look at Sheldon Richardson drops that interception, because it very easily could have been one for the New York Jets.
And Matt did a great job because Matt saved Jay from taking a big hit, and it's a difficult block for Matt to get to, trying to get around his quarterback, especially with a guy running full speed.
Well, it's always hard when you come across the formation in order to pick up a block. It's a very difficult assignment for the backs. He gets just enough of them, but it's there in the quarterback's eye where you feel uncomfortable. You feel like you got to get rid of the football, and that's why Rex Ryan calls this blitz, because Jay does get rid of it, almost intercepted by the defensive lineman of the New York Jets.
A little bit later, the Bears sort of figured some things out with this Jets defense.
You got a half-right formation. You're going to call counter 62 again where he comes across the formation. Blitz 0. Look at all these guys up here for the Jets. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No safety help back here. Now watch it all work out on a blitz 0. Look at the assignments by the offensive lineman of the Bears. Matt Forte comes across to pick up the blitzer on the outside. Bam. Good design. Way to go get the football, Alshon Jeffrey. When you've got no safety help, see the defensive backs use that switch technique you were talking about.
That's basically locked man, something they didn't do earlier. And that time, the Bears took advantage of it.
And credit Alshon Jeffrey. That's how you go get the football at its highest point. Great play. John Gruden called it great design. Well, great execution also by the Chicago Bears.
The one area that needs to get going is the Bears' running attack. Matt Forte is currently 28th in the league in rushing and is averaging just 14 attempts per game. And when we look at the Jets game, there was little if no daylight for Forte to run.
Toss it to Forte on the edge. Great read, nowhere to go.
The play had no chance.
Tony Fiametta, the fullback out of Syracuse, leads the way for Forte. Not going to go anywhere. Toss Forte. Take the push rod out there, but the Jets finally get him.
All 3 runs have been negative yardage runs.
The Bears last in the NFL with 64 yards rushing a game. A lot of people think maybe it's Matt Forte, but it's not Matt. It's a combination of everything. They've played very tough teams, whether it's Buffalo, San Francisco, the Jets, all very good against the run.
Subtle change up in terms of the formation. Look at this when I show you on the screen. I right, Y off. So if Y is off, Z's got to get on the line of scrimmage. But okay, here's what happens. It's going to be a 39 Bob play. Back on backer is what this play is called. So 39 Bob. Watch Jordan Mills, the right tackle. He gets beat on this particular play by, I believe it's Wilkerson, the talented defensive tackle for the New York Jets.
And that's the guy that really, we'll take a look and see it much better from this angle. That's the guy that really blows up this play.
Yeah, right here. I mean, if you've got to make a reach block like that, granted, it's going to the weak side. Here comes Fiametta in motion. He's going to have the back-on backer that I talked about, but it's really at the point of attack. I don't think Fiametta digs out the weak side backer enough, and certainly you see Jordan Mills get beat across his face by Muhammad Wilkerson.
And that's really all it took. He's the guy that gets there. Fiametta has a tough time getting through the hole because Bushrod doesn't really get much push on his guy there. And it made it tough. And then here's a different look that we see in the second quarter here.
Well, this is just an outside zone run to the left, so we call this just slant 37 or 39 to the outside. Watch Martellus Bennett at the point of attack on the backer. Also watch left guard Michael Ola. I think if they just finish, and if you look at Bennett, he kind of loses his technique and his base in order to drive and continue his blocking, his assignment. So let it play out right here. Outside zone run, keep the base, finish, kick it out a little bit more. He doesn't finish, he gets the tackle, and I think, again, you saw Ola. If Ola just peels off a little bit more to the inside right here, he could finish up on that block as well. See it peeling back on Muhammad Wilkerson.
He almost got too far out there, and the guy ended up coming behind him.
Yeah, that's Sheldon Richardson, excuse me. Who's a great player, don't get me wrong, but certainly if you clean it up, get a little bit better in your assignments, finish your blocks at the point of attack, could have been a much more productive day in terms of the run game.
When Sportsnet Central Playbook with Jim Miller returns. Next up, it's the Packers at Soldier Field. We'll check out some of the key plays from last year's games and the numbers Aaron Rodgers has put up playing in Chicago.
Hi, I'm Alpha Monty. If you're looking for a brand new 2014 Fusion or Escape, there's never been a better time than now.
You can drive a 2014 Ford Escape or Fusion for $179 a month. That's right, a new Ford Fusion or Escape for $179 a month. And with one of the largest selections of new Fords in Chicago, we are your best choice.
Only at the original El Pamati Ford.
25th and North Avenue.
Gotta use your hands a little bit more.
230 violent criminals. Secretly released early by Pat Quinn. Sex offenders, wife beaters, convicted murderers. What happened after Quinn freed them is unthinkable. Sexual assault of a minor, violent domestic abuse, and more senseless murders. The unthinkable didn't have to happen. Now Pat Quinn wants 4 more years?
Game 2, World Series. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Sox trail, 4-2.
It's gonna go. It's a slam. Sox lead 6-4. Light it up. That ball was a rocket to the bullpen. You can hear the fans. They want a curtain call.
We did some good things, we did some bad things.
Wallace, chased by McClellan, hit by Peppers, and down, and that should do it. Wentz, Rodgers gets out, floats it, Cobb! Touchdown, Randall Cobb! Give Aaron Rodgers some credit. He has Julius Peppers right in his lap. He's able to make him miss, and then finds Randall Cobb down the field. Big play for the Packers. Huge on 4th down.
Well, during his career, Aaron Rodgers has gotten the best of the Bears with a 10-3 record. He's got 21 touchdowns to just 10 interceptions and a 97.4 rating, Jim. And do you expect those type of numbers to continue Sunday here at Soldier Field?
Well, I hope not, because it brings up a lot of bad memories. He will gut you at the end of the day when you look at Aaron Rodgers. Last year, Week 17, the division's on the line. What happened? There were 3 situations where it was 4th down and they needed to make a play. Who made it? Aaron Rodgers. He is always dangerous. I don't care who they got lining up. You better watch what number 12 does underneath the center.
And a lot of these guys, if we look at this Bears defense, there are a lot of new guys that maybe haven't faced him as much. Does that make a difference as opposed to years past where there's a lot of consistency in terms of the players on the Bears defense?
Well, yeah, I think there's going to be, for Kyle Fuller, there's going to be a little bit of a difference here in the style, how the ball gets out quick. Aaron Rodgers and obviously the other quarterbacks they played against, by far, this is the most superior quarterback Kyle Fuller is going to be seeing to date. So for him, get in the tape, watch a little bit more because, again, Aaron Rodgers is a special talent and a special quarterback.
The Packers are 1-2 on the season, and Aaron Rodgers is still completing 64% of his passes with 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. But he delivered a message this week for the uneasy Green Bay fans.
5 letters here, just for everybody out there in Packerland and yourself today.
Panic.
R-E-L-A-X.
Okay.
Relax.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay.
It was kind of funny. It's been, a lot of people have made a big deal out of it, but number one, the Packers have been 1-2 before, so he understands that they're not in unfamiliar territory right now.
Well, he's a veteran quarterback that can negotiate a lot of things. And here, my personal opinion, what he's had to negotiate so far, the right tackle position, no Brian Bulaga. You want to what? There's no Jermichael Finley. Right. I don't think they have the tight end weapons that they used to have for Aaron Rodgers. And then you look at, they've lost Greg Jennings. They've lost Jones, who's another key receiver. So he's still a quarterback that can bring this group along. They're still dangerous when you look at Jordy Nelson. They've got Boykin. And, of course, we know what Randall Cobb can do. He's good enough to negotiate it. And once they get their offensive line intact, then Aaron Rodgers is probably saying, we'll be just fine.
And if we remember last year, going back to the 2 games they played, Eddie Lacy and Starks, they've made a difference in the Packers because in years past, it was strictly the passing game. And you would think, just like the Bears, if they get the running game to go with the passing game, they're going to be lethal as well.
Well, Eddie Lacy last year, he had over 1,200 yards rushing. The key for him is he's turned over the football. Look at the fumble he had, a key situation against the Detroit Lions. So that's been an issue also for the Green Bay Packers.
And let's take a look because people have been talking about, hey, Aaron Rodgers, not quite as accurate as he has been. They haven't been making as many plays. An example here, it's just one play, but a play where his guy, it's Jordy Nelson, has a chance, gets kind of by the safety, just doesn't, kind of underthrows him.
Well, to me, the ball should be thrown in the middle of the field. Yeah. I mean, that's where the open area is. So the guy's clearly double covered. At least throw the receiver open. So Jordy Nelson's a special player, but Aaron Rodgers also knows this. He needs to pick up his play. He hasn't played that well also. Granted, they've got a rookie center. He's holding on the ball too long. And just like that play right there, at times hasn't been accurate with the football because he's uncomfortable in the pocket.
Well, that wraps up Week 3 of Sportsnet Central Playbook with Jim Miller. We'll be right back here next Friday to take a look at the key plays and moments from the Bears and Packers. That's it for us. For Jim, I'm Kip. Thanks for watching.
At T-Mobile, get 4 lines for just $100 with unlimited talk, text, and now up to 10 gigabytes of 4G LTE data. Want phones with that? Grab the hottest new phones and get the best trade-in value on your current phone, guaranteed. Let's see the other guys beat that. Get 4 lines for $100 and the best trade-in value, guaranteed.
The simple truth is, sometimes life isn't just. Someone crosses over the line, the best laid plans fail, or the sky falls, and lives are changed forever, and people suffer. And when that happens, you might find a system that is not just. That's the reason I began my career, because even when life isn't just, there can be justice, and everyone deserves justice.
There's no clock on this job.
Just the timeless hands of intuition and effort, ticking from within. An endless cadence of committed work, from the passing of Mother Nature's final frost to the hanging dew at harvest. Around here, wheels are always turning, and watches need no winding, because success never rests.
Our moving day arrived.
But the movers didn't.
All my jewelry? Lost.
Looked like a tornado hit the back of the truck.
But moving my DirecTV? Piece of cake.
They were so professional.
And on time.
Even gave me a brand new genie.
Bundled the phone and internet, too. All our favorite movies and shows. It's like we never left.
DirecTV was the best part of our move. By far.
The DirecTV Movers deal. Call now and ask if you qualify for a free Genie upgrade.
He'll be looking to throw. Wide open up in the air as a man open. And it's touchdown, St. Rita. It's down, it's up, it's good. St. Rita leads 23-21.
Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of High School Lights presented by Allstate. I'm Jen Latta. We've got a great show ahead for you. Highlights from 11 of the schools within our top 25 and conference leads on the line, plus one school boasting its best start in almost 30 years. Let's check them out. We start with our Midwest Orthopedic at Rush Game of the Week, and we go to the North Burbs for this one. A couple of undefeated teams from the Fox Valley, the Huntley Red Raiders, and number 4 in the CSN Power Rankings, and the Trojans of Cary Grove. Late in the first half, Trojans ahead 6-0. Tyler Pennington takes the handoff, and he is off to the races. Cary Grove pulls ahead 12-0. Third quarter now, and you're going to see Anthony Benetti leading a comeback. He takes a deep shot. Brandon Altergott coming down with the huge catch. Huntley in the red zone looking to score. Later on the drive, Lathan Christian gets the ball. Initially, he does not get in, but it's the second effort that results in the score. Red Raiders back in the game, 12-7. But Cary Grove would punch right back. Jason Gregor floats one to the near side. Larkin Hanselman snatches it, and he is gone. That's a huge 70-yard pass play that puts Cary Grove back up a couple scores. A big second half would help the Trojans roll 42-14, the victory for them. Here's Edgy Tim O'Halloran with post-game reaction.
Talk about that huge pass play. Really changed the momentum in the second half.
Yeah, it really was. You know, they just had scored. We had missed a couple of PATs to make it a 12-7 game, and then to respond like that was just outstanding. That was a great individual effort by Larkin and a great pass by Jason, and we just executed.
And yet, your offense, based on the run, your offensive line, again, just a tremendous job tonight.
Yeah, they do, and I tell you, it was a battle. You know, both sides were there's a lot of guys to be sore tomorrow morning, but yeah, they did a great job.
And defensively, I mean, your defense got tested a little bit. This is a very good Huntley team. Really made you work tonight on defense.
Absolutely. And with so many threats that they had, you know, I'm real proud of our team effort. You know, a lot of very good individual plays and just a great team effort.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. A pair of 3-1 Southwest Suburban Blue teams, number 8 Homewood Flossmoor on the road at number 16 Lincoln Way East. This one, lopsided early on, 14-0 Homewood Flossmoor. Trevor Johnson with the strike to Deontay Harley Hampton. Homewood Flossmoor up 20-0. Lincoln Way East would start the comeback, though. First, Mike Weller scores on the quarterback keeper. The Griffins cut the deficit 20-7. Then out of the shadow of his own goal line, Weller to Paul Gossage. How about the catch and breaking the tackle to get going? He's got open field in front of him. He would get caught, but he goes 89 yards on the reception. Nice little flip there at the end for effect. On the next play, Liam Morrissey on the handoff finds some room and then pay dirt. Lincoln Way East completes the comeback, winning 43-40 over homeless Flossmoor. Number 14 Loyola Ramblers coming in at 3-1 on the season. They're at St. Ignatius, a tough test for the 1-3 Wolfpack. Loyola wasting little time as they get in the end zone early. Minutes into this one, DJ Melsheimer connecting with Owen Buscaglia. It's a 9-yard touchdown strike. Loyola up 7-0. Next series, Melsheimer in the gun. He feeds Dara Laja on the option play. Laja scampers in from the 5-yard line. It's 14-0 Ramblers. About 80 seconds later, Melsheimer and Buscaglia making it happen once again. The two hook up on this 20-yard pass, their second touchdown connection of the night as the Ramblers score early and often, winning big, 55-14. Seniors Justin Hunneford and Miles Boykin, well, you've heard their names, haven't you? They've captured the headlines for the Providence Catholic team this season. The quarterback-wide receiver duo has led the Celtics to a 4-0 start and a big win over Catholic Blue rival St. Rita in Week 3. But it's a sophomore that is starting to turn heads in New Lenox. This is Drive, Providence Catholic football presented by Northern Illinois University.
Hunneford pitch, Warfield, right side.
Nice cutback.
Touchdown, Providence. Richie Warfield in from 7 yards out.
It was just a really easy adjustment coming in with these guys. I mean, I consider these guys my teammates just as much as I do as the sophomores as I played with last year, so they made it a really easy transition.
3 weeks ago, Richie Warfield was just glad to contribute. But less than a month later, the sophomore running back has transformed from contributor to playmaker in the Celtics' high-powered offense.
Warfield in from 36 yards out on a beautifully designed play.
That transformation was on full display last Friday night in Providence's 37-7 victory over Marmion Academy.
1st and 10, out of the shotgun, delayed handoff. Big hole, Richie Warfield, and there he goes! Richie Warfield, touchdown! 43 yards out!
Warfield finished the night with a career-high 128 yards and 2 touchdowns and proved that he belongs at the varsity level.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little tired, but you know, like I said, once I got in a little rhythm and offense started rolling, like, you don't think about that kind of stuff. You're just going in, you have the adrenaline, and everything's going for you.
Richie brings a lot to the table. He's got great vision, you know, he's got great speed, and he's got some power too. So it's not too often we have sophomores that come up, and if they do, I don't know if they're as ready as Richie is. Richie doesn't look like a sophomore, he doesn't play like a sophomore.
And his teammates don't treat him like one either.
The hardest thing for me when I was a sophomore is just, you know, getting to know the guys, you know, doing things with the guys, just because you're 2 years younger than most of them. So, you know, I just try to, you know, implement him into, you know, our groups and stuff like that. Just talk every time I see him in the hallway, make sure he sits by us at mass and stuff like that. So just simple things like that, you know, just make him feel at home.
I think he worked harder than anyone, to be honest. He was always in the weight room, getting stronger, getting faster. He was always studying his playbook. So that's what I love about the kid. It's just his work ethic. It's top notch. It's exactly what you want in a running back.
For athletes, the weight room is a place to get bigger, faster, and stronger. Warfield has done all 3.
His strength is a tremendous asset that we have. And for a sophomore to be as strong as he is, he's one of the stronger sophomores I've ever been around, and at a running back position nonetheless. So he's really worked hard in the weight room to develop his strength and his speed and agility, and he translates that onto the practice field as well. He works hard. You know, every time he gets reps, whether it's a drill or whether it's, you know, a team situation, he works really hard, and he's full go all the time. So I think his off-season training has translated well to, you know, that work ethic moving out onto the practice field and the game field.
This has been Drive, Providence Catholic football, presented by Northern Illinois University.
So the guys played Mount Carmel in Week 3. Now they're taking on St. Rita. A big game, obviously, but it was scoreless early on. Providence on the goal line. And you're going to see Justin Hunneford off the play action, roll out and find his favorite target. That's Miles Boykin in the end zone. 5-yard score. Celtics up 7-0 early on. Later in the first, St. Rita with a little play action fake of their own. C.J. Weiderman slings it out to Brendan Gaston, who climbs the ladder to make the catch. St. Rita would score on the next play, and this game was tied at 7. So let's check out the ensuing kickoff, shall we? Providence Richie Warfield takes the kick, and the sophomore finds the seam, busts through the hole. He is on his way to the house. 82-yard touchdown return. That makes it 14-7 Celtics. St. Rita, though, they're going to fight back. Weiderman throws the slant route, finds Gaston again. Perfect route, perfect throw, and the spin into the end zone. St. Rita cuts it 21-13. Third quarter now, Providence would clinch it with this play. Hunneford to guess who? That's your big man Boykin, this time on the fade route as Providence wins this one 41-27. Now they are 5-0 on the season. Hilltoppers from Glenbard West check in this week at number 2, and they were on the road at number 20, Hinsdale Central. Hinsdale Central down big in the third quarter. Christian Bovic barrels his way into the end zone for the TD. Red Devils cut the deficit 28-7. But the Hilltoppers would show no mercy in this one. Kobe Easley taking it into the house, 35-7 Glenbard West. And on the next possession, Sean Mackey takes the pitch, finds a hole, and then he finds another gear, jetting up the field for the 30-yard run. Easley back again for Glenbard West. Here he gets the handoff, breaks a few tackles, and takes it to the house. Glenbard West cruises in this one, 42-7 the final. Let's stay in the Southwest Suburban Silver. The Dukes of York entering this week at 3-1, trying to give the number 10 Huskies of Oak Park River Forest their first loss of the season. But the Huskies were on their game early in the first. York punting away, and that's Kamal Bay. Plays the ball on a couple of hops. He's going to break one tackle, and he is off to the races. Coming back at you. He finishes just shy of scoring. York nearly allowed 2 touchdowns on punts in the quarter, so the ideal field position sets up the Dukes on the 2-yard line. Antonio Cannon works his way between the tackles, and he breaks into the end zone. 7-0 Huskies. Later in the half, OPRF driving again. Lloyd Yates takes the shotgun snap and follows his blockers to the left. He trots in for 6. Huskies beat up on the Dukes. This one ugly, 49-0. It was an incredible play to start Jordan Westerkamp's college career at Nebraska. We'll flash back to his high school days at Montini coming up. And for Highland Park, religion comes before football. The Giants get ready to face their rival, trying to extend their best start in almost 30 years. And as we go to break, here's some scores for our top 25 power rankings. You're watching High School Lights.
High School Lights is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
I'm a cheap bungee cord. This guy bought me at the gas station. I'm perfect for holding down the lid on a box of sweaters. But 800 pounds of tailgating gear? Nah. And if you have cut rate insurance, the biggest hit of the day could be to your wallet. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Have we met before?
The Avalon 2012?
Yeah!
I noticed this girl from across the room. You're the girl. This is meant to be.
No, it's not.
It was her in the silver dress.
Did you dig around the internet for pictures of me?
Yes. Maybe I could use a little meant to be in my life.
It was you.
A to Z premieres this Thursday, 9:30, 8:30 Central after Bad Judge on NBC.
At T-Mobile, get 4 lines for just $100 with unlimited talk, text, and now up to 10 gigabytes of 4G LTE data. Want phones with that? Grab the hottest new phones and get the best trade-in value on your current phone, guaranteed. Let's see the other guys beat that. Get 4 lines for $100 and the best trade-in value guaranteed.
raising the next generation of competitive athletes. Why not get your orthopedic care from the best? Midwest Orthopedics and Rush Sports Medicine Physicians are team doctors for the White Sox and Bulls, now offering sports injury immediate care clinic on Saturdays. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush.
High School Lights is brought to you in part by Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, the top-ranked orthopedic group in Illinois, and the team physicians for the Chicago Bulls and Chicago White Sox.
You gotta get rid of it. Throw it up there.
Kellogg's throw is going to be tipped and caught. It's caught. It's caught. It's a touchdown, Westerkamp. Pat Fitzgerald wanted Westerkamp when he came out of high school in Chicago. Didn't get him. And now the Northwest offensive touchdown.
Montini alum Jordan Westerkamp will never forget his first collegiate touchdown catch. It was a Hail Mary, as you just saw, as the Cornhuskers beat Northwestern. In high school at Montini, Jordan broke all of the Broncos' receiving records that happened to be held by his dad, Bob. Jordan is Illinois' all-time high school leader in reception, receiving yards, and touchdowns. And as we take a look back, Westerkamp capped off his career in the Class 5A state championship game in 2011. He caught 5 touchdowns in that game, 331 yards receiving. That's the second most receiving yards in a single game in state history. Montini, well, they rolled 70-45 over Joliet Catholic, its 3rd straight state title. So let's check out a battle for first place in the West Suburban Gold. The Hinsdale South Hornets and the Addison Trail Blazers both coming in at 4-0. Hinsdale knocking on the door early on. Quarterback Robert Reagan muscles his way into the end zone. He was just 2 yards out. The Hornets get 7 points for that as they strike first. The Blazers QB would respond with a big play of his own. Mike Ryberzak scrambling 66 yards, and away he goes, working the sideline and breaking the goal line. Pretty well untouched. This game was all tied up at 7. Late in the second quarter, Blazers with the ball on the Hornets' 1-yard line, running it up the middle, and somehow Malik Pierre-Louis able to work his way through the bodies. The Blazers go ahead and hold on for a 20-16 victory, so they remain unbeaten with a very impressive 5-0 record. At Highland Park High School, the Giants are standing tall and making lots of noise, coming off a dominating 28-7 performance over Waukegan last week. They have risen to a level that they have not reached in almost 30 years. But due to a unique situation, the Giants needed to study fast for their next test against an arch rival. Kelly Krull has their story.
That's what we talked about, is how do we handle success, and that's one of the harder things to do. Once you get to the point where everybody's gunning for you, there is going to be no easy games.
There's now 1 month of football in the books, and it has already been a season to remember for Highland Park. With a perfect 4-0 record, the Giants are off to their best start since 1985.
An extremely intelligent group. Probably the ACT average score of the senior class is around 30. So, I mean, it's a very extremely intelligent group, and they are not just book smart, they are also smart on the football field.
Our whole mantra this off season was 1 more yard. Our last season ended with one play at the goal line, and we couldn't get that 1 yard. And, that was stuck with us this whole offseason.
Perfection also attracts a line of others on the schedule who want to spoil the party. For Highland Park, that school is none other than their rival Deerfield.
And I know that it can easily be taken away. We all know that, and if we take Deerfield lightly, if we take any team lightly, it can go away in one night. And we have to work hard to make sure we can keep it going.
We always, circle that on our calendar. Always look forward to it. It's always a good battle, even if the records going into that game don't show it. It's always a good battle. Both teams always put out their best effort.
According to the legendary Vince Lombardi, the priorities of life are faith, family, and then football. Highland Park was among the teams putting that philosophy to the test. With the celebration of Rosh Hashanah, the practice week was cut short as players observed the Jewish New Year with their families.
The biggest thing for us is just, ourselves being mentally prepared, and, even though we don't have that extra day of practice, we still can, as long as we're ready, and I think we will be, then we don't really need to worry about the other team.
Religion comes before football, so we need to make sure we observe that, but we also have to practice really hard today and every day we can.
It's a level playing field. They've got to deal with the exact same thing we do, so it'll come down to which team wants to win the most.
Thank you, Kelly. Giants wearing their white jerseys in this one hold a 2-game lead in the Central Suburban North going into Deerfield. They pick it up early. Deerfield up 3-0. But the Giants were driving, and check out the handoff to the tailback. Cole Greenberg bounces outside, finds a seam, and that puts Highland Park in great field position. Later in the drive, the Giants losing the aerial attack. Watch quarterback Sam Nevers as he rolls to his right and connects with Aaron Brown, arm outstretched, just a few feet shy of that goal line. So the Giants are going to use their goal line formation on the next play, and it's Nevers on the keeper as he barrels his way in. Highland Park takes the lead, and they stay perfect on the season as they win this one, 17-14. Number 5, Maine South brings a 65-game conference winning streak into its contest against the Titans of Glenbrook South. They were wearing the blue and the gold. The gold not bringing them any luck, however, as Maine South dominated this game. Pick it up in the second half. This is a 35-0 game when Tommy Bazarek back to receive the punt, and then he goes for a run. The Hawks would get the ground game going as the clock runs down. Justin Fahey using all of his strength and the spin move to pick up a little yardage there. But Fahey wasn't done. Moments later, Maine South with the goal line set. Fahey crosses it with ease. He had 3 touchdowns in the game as Maine South wins this one big, 42-7, the final score. Our All-State Athlete of the Week is trying to lead Joliet West to its first playoff berth ever. We'll introduce you to him when High School Lights returns. Plus, as we go to break, check out the power rankings for Week 5 right here on CSN Chicago.
Tonight, the White Sox and Royals clash in a Central Division battle at U.S. Cellular Field. Coverage starts at 5:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by Lexus of Maryville. White Sox, Royals, tonight at 5:30 on CSN.
Want to play the best golf courses in the world for free? Play WGT free on your computer, tablet, or mobile phone. Compete in online tournaments against other golfers. Visit WGTfree.com to play today.
Do you feel trapped by your credit cards? $25,000 in balance now means your minimum payment could be $1,000 a month. Be late, and there go the late charges. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Consider eliminating with Chapter 7 or no interest repayment under Chapter 13. Call us for a free phone mini consultation or log on to infotapes.com.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-800-401-4010.
Quiet on the set. Take 73. What? It's a saving big is no laughing matter. At the Bob Roman Auto Group, over 7,000 new and used cars online at bobrorman.com.
There's only one Bob Roman.
This flu season, remember this. Your immune system doesn't work the way it did when Rock was young. So we made Fluzone High-Dose Vaccine for people 65 plus. Fluzone High-Dose has a higher dose of antigen for a stronger immune response. Fluzone High-Dose Vaccine is approved for people 65 and older. It's not for anyone who's had a severe allergic reaction to any vaccine component, including eggs, egg products, or to a prior dose of any flu vaccine. Tell your doctor if you've had Guillain-Barré syndrome. Side effects include pain, swelling, and redness at the injection site, muscle aches, fatigue, headache, and fever. Other side effects may occur. If you have other symptoms or problems following vaccination, call your doctor immediately. Vaccination may not protect everyone. So if you hopped around the clock, ask your healthcare provider about Fluzone High-Dose. Fluzone High-Dose Vaccine.
The Wolverines of Simeon looking to stay perfect against 3-1 Curie. No need to remind Curie that it's game day. This team was pumped up. First quarter, Simeon looking to strike first. Craig Barners with a chip shot field goal. Just barely clears the crossbars, but they were up 3-0. Curie would respond. Check out the deep throw by Mike Goldsmith hooking up with Anthony Watson. That's a huge play down the sidelines. Condors pick up a huge chunk of yardage later in the drive. Condors in the red zone. Goldsmith gives the end around to Matthew Cole. He's in for 6 as Curie takes the lead. But Simeon would not go quietly. Timon Watkins finds receiver Jordan Reed on the crossing route, and Reed does the rest. Check out the footwork as he dodges those defenders en route to the end zone. The Wolverines respond with a touchdown of their own, but Simeon goes on to beat Curie 41-20. Staying in the city, undefeated Robeson taking on the Commandos of Marshall. In the third quarter, Robeson kicking off, down a couple scores. They go for the surprise onside kick, but it's covered by the Commandos. Come all the way back to the house. Marshall not surprised, 22-6. So Robeson gets the ball back down 16, 3rd and long for the Raiders. Lee Brendan takes the direct snap. Robeson again tries to get fancy. Marshall's defense all over it. The Raiders suffer their first loss of 2014 as Marshall wins this one 22-6. Time now for our All-State Athlete of the Week. And this week's honor goes to Joliet West's junior quarterback, Alex Tibble. He led his team to a 21-20 win at Sandburg on homecoming night and a great start to the season. The Tigers are just 2 wins away now from making school history. Our David Kaplan has more.
There we go. Good.
Tibble is the All-State Athlete of the Week thanks to his 2 touchdown passes, throwing for 266 yards on 18 for 26 passing.
It's just the guys we have. I mean, the receivers, they can go up and make plays. We got Kyle Henderson, French, Choate. I'm probably missing another guy, but the whole line, like I said, we got 4 or 5 running backs that can get it done, and they're really the ones that made it possible for me.
He's a great teammate, and he'll do whatever it takes for the team to be successful. It's not individual achievement. It's everything that makes the team better.
Joliet West has never been in the state football playoffs, but this year could be different. Tribble has the Tigers out to a 3-0 start, coming off the best game for the school in decades.
The biggest thing that people don't understand is how many years it's been since we've had a program win like that. You know, it's been 13 years since we beat Sandburg, and it's been year after year after year getting closer and closer and closer. Last year we lost by a touchdown. The year before that we lost by, you know, a couple of points here or there. So we've been getting closer and closer and closer. However, we haven't done it. We didn't do it until this year.
Freshman and sophomore year, they kind of took it to us. Sandburg did both years. So personally, I was coming in and I wanted to beat Sandburg. It was one of the games I was most looking forward to. And as a team, it's huge because, as you know, we need 5 wins to get to the playoffs, or most likely 5 wins. And to get it to 3 here, and then we have Bolingbrook, East, Stagg, Central, and Lockport left. So we're in a good spot.
I'm David Kaplan, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thank you very much, Cap, and that's going to do it for this week's show. Thank you so much for watching High School Lights presented by Allstate. I'm Jen Latta. Remember, for News 24/7, you can always log on to our website at csnchicago.com. We will see you at the game.
I'm a cheap bungee cord. This guy bought me at the gas station. Perfect for holding down the lid on a box of sweaters. But 800 pounds of tailgating gear? Nah. And if you have cut rate insurance, the biggest hit of the day could be to your wallet. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
You're raising the next generation of competitive athletes. Why not get your orthopedic care from the best? Midwest Orthopedics and Rush Sports Medicine Physicians are team doctors for the White Sox and Bulls, now offering sports injury immediate care clinic on Saturdays. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
People have been using wind power for sailboats since the beginning of time. Wind can be converted to electricity with windmills, and it's clean and renewable. There are people and companies working to make wind power available to everyone. All we have to do is get behind them. Can one solution to energy woes be blowing in the wind? The possibilities are endless.
Gerald Kia of Naperville has moved. Come see us at our new location on Aurora and Ogden Avenue in Naperville. The all-new Gerald Kia of Naperville, designed exclusively for you. Created with advanced technology, driven to give you the latest in luxury. Visit us to experience the all-new Gerald Kia of Naperville. With the largest Kia inventory in Chicagoland, backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty. The all-new Gerald Kia of Naperville on Aurora and Ogden Avenue in Naperville.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe giving customers the most for their money is the right way to do business.
I've been coming to Farm and Fleet for 40-some years.
The clothing selection here is great.
I can find exactly what I need at a terrific price.
Right now, you'll find our lowest prices of the year. Irwin folding utility knives or 6-inch mini bar clamps, $9.99. Select KT auto darkening welding helmets, $64.99. And save 25% on Legend interior and exterior paint. The lowest prices of the year at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Get the ultimate White Sox coverage all season long with Comcast Sportsnet, CSNChicago.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Ayana Crystal. Welcome to Sportsnet Central, presented by CLR. The Pack get a big body back while the Bears may be without the NFL's active sacks leader.
Without him, we'll have to have someone step up.
Plus, is Julius Peppers feeling a little salty?
He actually cost me my job, so.
After Jeter's walk-off, the attention turns to Paulie.
Oh, he's worthy of a statue.
And Brad Richards hosts his former teammates on the West Side. We're all business and a party on Sportsnet Central right now.
Connected to Sportsnet Central, presented by CLR.
It's one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL, and while the Bears are looking to build off their 2 straight wins, Chris Bowden tells us Sunday they could be without 5 opening day starters.
Jared Allen hasn't practiced and has barely been around Hallis Hall all week with an undisclosed illness. He's listed as questionable for the rivalry renewal, as is safety Chris Conte, while Jeremiah Ratliff and Shea McClellan will join Charles Tillman a second straight week on the sidelines. The rest of the defense sounds as if they're planning not to have the league's active sacks leader.
Jared will be missed, you know. Hopefully we can still have some leadership and his presence on the side with us or whatnot, kind of help us, you know, with some little stuff here and there. But for the most part, you know, we're professionals here, and we know when one guy go down, we got to look for guys to step up and be effective.
He's a great leader on the field. It's like having a D-line coach out there. He has so much experience. He can pretty much help direct us where to go out there on the field and put us in position to make plays and just help us, you know, defeat the man in front of us. But you know, without him, we'll have to have someone step up in the leadership place. Him and Jay Ratliff. So I think me and Willie Young and the other younger guys, Will and Ego and Trevor Scott, will be prepared to play football the way we're supposed to play it and to do our jobs to be successful.
No matter how 1-2 Green Bay has looked so far, the Bears have been burned too many times by Aaron Rodgers, who was made to look rather ordinary by Willie Young's former team. Detroit pressured him consistently with a 4-man rush last week. Can his new team do that without a pair of linemen who've been to a combined 9 Pro Bowls?
Well, that's the Lions. We're the Bears. And we're going to do it the Bear way. We're going to get after this guy the best way we know how for 4 quarters or as long as it takes. He can run. He can obviously throw it. He can throw it as he's being harassed. He can also get the ball 40 yards down the field. You know, it's not a throw that I haven't seen this guy make before.
If Allen can't go on Sunday, Trevor Scott, a veteran who showed well in the preseason, will be rotated in his place. And on the other side of the ball, Brandon Marshall is also questionable. He was kept off the practice field all week with his sore ankle. Covering the Bears of Lake Forest, Chris Bowden, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thank you, Chris. Well, the Bears injury list is a little long heading into Sunday. Matt Slauson and Roberto Garza will miss their third straight game with ankle injuries, while Ryan Mundy is probable with a sprained shoulder. Now for Green Bay, wideout Jared Boykin is questionable, while right tackle Brian Bulaga is probable after injuring his knee in Week 1, and linebackers Clay Matthews and Nick Perry are expected to play. With more on the Bears, here's Pat Boyle.
We're now joined by NBC Sportsnet NFL insider and former offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride. Kevin, the Bears ranked dead last in the league in rushing, but the Packers are ranked 30th in run defense. What do you expect from Matt Forte and the Bears ground game?
Well, I would expect that the Bears would commit more to the run game. I think they've abandoned it fairly quickly. I think there's reasons why, but the bottom line is they're a better football team when they're balanced, and I think Forte is one of the exceptional backs that can do all kinds of things, certainly run the football. So I think they're a better football team. It'll open up their play-action game, and I just, quite frankly, have not been impressed with the Green Bay defensive front.
Green Bay usually has an elite offense, but they've struggled to score in 2 of the first 3 weeks so far this season. Is the best of Aaron Rodgers and company in the rearview mirror?
I think he is, if not the best, certainly one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks. So I don't think it's him at all. But as we've seen many times with many of these quarterbacks, if they're not receiving adequate protection, then they're not the same guy. And even though he can run around and maneuver in the pocket and escape when he has to, when you're getting bombarded on all ends, it's very difficult to stay in there and make all the throws that are necessary.
Optimism is high in Chicago after 2 straight road wins. Do you think the Bears will end up being a playoff team?
I do, if they can somehow, stay healthy. And of course, they've battled through the last 2 weeks with their receivers and the offensive line, trying to regain the health that they had at the outset of the season. But there's no question they've got all the components. The quarterback is an extraordinary passer. The 2 outside receivers are exceptional. I think, as we mentioned earlier, the running back is one of the top 3 or 4 running backs in the league. Their offensive line, I thought, was more than adequate. I think they are going to be a playoff team.
Kevin Gilbride, thanks for the knowledge. We'll see you down the road.
All right, well, here at Comcast Sportsnet, we're happy to announce 2 new members of our Bears coverage team. Charles Tillman will join us every Monday on Sports Talk Live and Sportsnet Central, and then on Thursdays, former Bears head coach Dave Wanstead will help us break down the Bears and preview their upcoming games. Remember, no one covers the Bears like we do at CSN, so make sure you tune in. The Blackhawks preseason continues. Brad Richards facing his former team as the Hawks host the Rangers. The Blackhawks returning to the United Center ice. Corey Crawford starting in goal, expected to play all evening in the first period, belonging to the reigning Eastern Conference champions. Brent Seabrook turnover, 50 seconds in the game. That set up Oscar Lindbergh, and quickly it's 1-0 Rangers. Middle of the first now, Rangers passing the puck well. Rick Nash sets up an easy look for Anthony Duclair, so New York extends the lead to 2-0. 10-minute mark of the second period. Philip Deneau leaves it on the doorstep. It's Dennis Rasmussen sneaking it past Henrik Lundqvist there. So the Hawks on the board, it's 2-1. Then 5 minutes later, Nicholas Hjalmarsson turns it over at center ice. The Rangers get it ahead for Nash. Breakaway attempt, but check out Corey Crawford. Nice play to keep the score 2-1. Then late in the third, Rangers on the power play. John Moore throws it on net. It's deflected right in front of Crawford by Duclair. And the Rangers, with plenty of scoring, they win this 4-1. With more on the Hawks' loss, Lou Stuckmeyer has your press pass from the United Center.
I think we won the puck in the neutral zone. Phil picked it up and did a great job driving the net, and I was lucky to get a shot on the net there, and lucky winning.
Even in a sloppy preseason loss, there are young players trying to find their way onto this crowded Blackhawks roster. For Dennis Rasmussen and Philip Deneau, Friday's game was another chance to try and catch the coach's eye.
it's tough to get there, but you know, you can't think about it. You just got to do your thing, your detail, the thing where you got drafted. So you just don't put any pressure on yourself and just play a game.
Liked him. He was had a couple forwards there that really stood out. I think he was one of them, and you know, so we're happy with him. I like Rasmussen as well up front. You know, we got a tough roster to crack right now. You look at where we're at. Structure-wise, salary-wise, it's not a lot of room to do anything. But I still think that internally we have to be competitive, and the kids that are pushing and looking to take advantage or enhancing their opportunity here in the organization.
I'm just trying to play my game and try to have some speed and create some chances, but play a really good defensive too, because that's important.
Before Friday's game, the Blackhawks trimmed their roster down to 40 players. Coach Q says expect another young team on the ice Sunday in Saskatoon as the Hawks try to get this roster down even further with the season getting closer. At the United Center, covering the Blackhawks, Luke Stuckmeyer, Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Luke, thank you so much. Well, the Hawks have 3 preseason games left. Sunday, they travel to Canada to take on the Oilers. Then they'll return home Wednesday to take on the Canadiens and wrap things up next Friday in New York. Good news is those last 2 games you can see right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
One more Yankee Stadium ovation for Paul Konerko.
For Derek Jeter's final at-bat at Yankee Stadium, the captain was a walk-off hero. You couldn't have had written a better finale for Jeter's storybook ending in the Bronx. Now Paul Konerko is preparing himself for his final at-bat at U.S. Cellular Field.
The results is probably insignificant. Of course, everybody's going to say, I'd like to hit a home run. For me, I've always prided myself on being able to hit a fastball. I've never once since I've started playing worried about anybody throwing hard. It's never concerned me. I've really welcomed it most of the time. So I guess the last at bat, regardless of how it goes, I mean, I could get blown away, but I'd like to face somebody throwing real hard and have at it and see what happens. I'll do what I always do. I mean, you look for it and air it out, and hopefully I line it up.
And later today is Konerko Day at the Cell, and former teammates Joe Crady, Scott Pasednik, and Jim Thome will be there. Hawk and Stoney will broadcast the game from Club Konerko in Section 159, and Chuck Garfien and Bill Melton will be live at the ballpark for White Sox pregame live at 5:30 as we bring you the on-field ceremony. Here's Jerry Reinsdorf on the captain getting his number retired.
How could it not be retired? Of course it'll be retired.
Is he statue worthy?
Oh, he's worthy of a statue. He was the face of the franchise and always conducted himself with class. You know, just a steady guy, not flamboyant, not spectacular. Just came, he came to work every day. And actually, I was thinking the other day about his popularity in a way is a tribute to the intelligence of our fans. Because in my 35 years, who were the 2 most popular players? Harold and Paulie, neither one of whom said very much. Harold, yes, no, and evidently. And Paulie didn't have a lot to say, but yet the fans, loved both of those guys. And I think it's really a tribute to our fans that they were able to sense what good guys they were.
Well, just 3 games left for Konerko. Paulie and the Sox trying to spoil Kansas City from clinching its first playoff berth since 1985. We got a man on for Nori Aoki in the first, and he'll drive him in. A ball gets all the way to the wall and makes it his way to third, so the Royals score 3 runs in the first. Same score in the 8th. Alexei Ramirez up and he'll bring in Adam Ean from third with this RBI single. So the Sox cut the deficit to 3-1 after 8. Bottom of the 9th here, Konerko's last at bat. And he hits this one hard, but it's right to the left fielder. So Konerko goes 0 for 4 on the night as the Royals win 3-1, clinching their first playoff berth in 29 years. Here's Paulie on all the attention.
You think every player thinks about the end of their career and what it's going to look like when they get there. And so far, I've been surprised on the end of how much people care and how much people are doing for me, and all the words and the thank yous and the signs and the, just everything. So it's definitely a lot to deal with and to process throughout a game when you're just trying to play the game and try to do your job. But I'm very lucky to have that. And I'm just going to try and, it's like you don't want it to end, you want to keep going, but at the same time, it's uncomfortable in a way to play games underneath where everything on the board is about you, everything going on is kind of about you, and so I'm kind of looking forward to getting on the other side of it, but I'm trying to soak every last bit of it in while I'm doing it, so it's kind of that balance.
So by next summer, the bleachers at Wrigley will look pretty different, and the work is underway. We'll get a glance at Clark and Addison as the Cubs open up their final series in Milwaukee. And on Sunday, Julius Peppers will try to bite the hand that once fed him. But Friday, he talked about his final play in a Bears uniform. Matt Forte is frustrated with the Bears' ground production. So is a matchup against Green Bay just what the running game needs?
Sportsnet Central is presented by CLR. We make cleaning cleaner.
Cleaning away calcium, lime, and rust buildup is cleaner with CLR. It's safe enough to carry the EPA Designed for the Environment label. Yet it has a powerful cleaning formula that you can trust to dissolve tough calcium and lime deposits and surface rust stains quickly and easily. Crusty white buildup on shower heads and hard water stains from coffee pots. Plus, it helps dishwashers and washing machines clean better. Safe, effective CLR. We make cleaning cleaner.
CLR is available at these fine stores.
Time to spice up your game day ritual? Get to Buffalo Wild Wings and try our game day sampler. Crispy onion rings, cheeseburger slammers, mini corn dogs. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Tonight, the White Sox and Royals clash in a Central Division battle at U.S. Cellular Field. Coverage starts at 5:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by Lexus of Maryville. White Sox, Royals, tonight at 5:30 on CSN.
On the next In Depth, Emmitt Smith.
I played for the organization that I always wanted to play for, in a sport that I absolutely love.
On his team's infamous reputation in the 90s.
How out of control was the partying?
That depends on your definition of out of control.
Oh, sure.
And offers his take on the NFL settlement with thousands of former players.
$20,000 a player, that's nothing.
Emmitt Smith on the next In Depth with Graham Bensinger.
In Depth with Graham Bensinger, tomorrow at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. Well, we're less than a week away from a big day for Comcast Sportsnet. October 1st marks the 10th anniversary of our launch. So at 10 p.m., we'll relive the greatest moments from the White Sox, Cubs, Blackhawks, Bulls, and Bears over the past decade. And front office executives will help us look back at our journey that began back in 2004. And the waiting game is over. The Cubs are set to begin a $575 million renovation at the friendly confines. Fans will get to experience expanded bleachers, plus 7 new signs will be added to the outfield, including a new video board. Demolition is set to begin on Monday. The Cubs finishing up their season in Milwaukee with a 3-game series against the Brew Crew. The Northsiders with a chance to win the season series for the first time since 2010. And the Cubs looking for win at number 72 after just 66 last season. Chris Coughlin getting the Cubs on the board early. He starts the game off with this. A solo shot deep to right field, number 9 for him this season. It's 1-0 Cubs. It's a great night for rookie Javier Baez, top of the 5th. Runner on second, Baez grounds this one up the middle for the RBI single. He moves on to second, to the throw home. He ended up 3 for 4 on the night. 4-2 Cubs. Top of the 7th now, 2 men on. Jorge Soler bloops this one to right field, and that drives in a run, making it his 20th RBI in just 22 games. And the Cubs get the win, 6-4. In our Cubs post-game plus, Todd Hollinsworth likes what he sees from the Cubs offense in the second half.
I can tell you how many times I've sat up here and we've done many a post game, and we talked about how many times the Cubs would leave that runner on second base and just we would all get frustrated. And it's good to see sometimes just a little bit of contact gets those runs in. You saw how this game played out. The Brewers pushed a little bit and the Cubs pushed back. That's the one thing that really has stood out to me here in the second half with the Cubs offense. They've been so much better at responding. Many times we would watch over the last couple of years this team put up 3 spots in the 5th inning, but that would be it. There would be those innings where you get a runner on second base, nobody out, and that man would still be stranded there. Yes, it's not pretty. It's ugly to see the bat blow up sometimes, but we got a run. With a runner on second base, we basically hit a ball a combined 110 feet on the infield and scored a run.
First round of the Ryder Cup from Glen Ingalls in Scotland, and our Ryder Cup highlights brought to you by the Chicago District Golf Association. Team USA captain Tom Watson made history when he paired with Jordan Spieth and Patrick Reed as the youngest pairing in Ryder Cup history, but they didn't show it as Reed and Spieth combined to trash their Euro opponents 5-4, picking up a crucial point, and the Americans lead by 1 after morning play. But in the afternoon, it was a different story. Rory McIlroy and Sergio Garcia lost in the morning but managed to have their match in the afternoon. The only PM match the Europeans didn't win. And Northern Ireland's Graham McDowell lost